During this week's CBS News Town Hall on the Economy with President Obama, Karen Gallo, a National Zoo employee, 7 months pregnant and about to be laid off, asked Mr. Obama what he would do if he were her. Well, here's his answer.
Now, the truth of the matter is our biggest problem when it comes to jobs right now is not in the private sector. We've been creating a lot of private sector jobs. The reason the unemployment rate is still as high as it is, in part, is because there have been huge layoffs of government workers at the federal level, at the state level, at the local level.
Now, the president didn't exactly say what he would do if he were in Karen's case, but the conversation didn't end there because the president said, maybe we can have a conversation afterward. Karen Gallo joins us now to tell us what happened after that moment. Great to have you back with us, Karen. So we wrapped that up around a little after 3 in the afternoon. How quickly did you hear from someone at the White House?
Well, I heard from someone yesterday morning, very early. The deputy chief of staff called me. But she did tell me right away that she had my information by 5 o'clock, given to her by the president. And and she said she didn't want to call me after hours. I actually didn't get home till later by the time I got home, so it was good that I didn't miss the call. But we did talk, and it was pretty amazing that to get a call from the deputy chief of staff at the White House.
And heading into this town hall, would you have ever thought this would be the outcome, that the president would say to you, hey, we'll talk afterwards, and then you actually have a follow-up?
I didn't think it would go that far. I wasn't even sure my question would get on. You know, I spoke with people next to me, and they had good questions, too. I totally lucked out that I was, you know, one of the first ones to get through and make an impression, apparently.
You did make an impression, and not just on the president. We've had a great response, actually, to you and your question. So what did you hear from the White House? Is this moving forward at all?
Well, the deputy chief of staff, was amazing, very down to earth. She listened to me. One of the first things she said is, you know, I got your information from the president. How are you, and how can I help you? And it was just amazing to hear the outreach. And so then from there, we talked a little bit. We had a really great conversation for a good 10 minutes about what happened, what I'm looking for, what my background is. I work in the field of public relations. I'm a public affairs specialist. So I have, I'm no spring chicken. I have many years of experience. So we talked about my experience. We talked about what I'd like to do. And she just said, you know, we'll get on this. So I sent her my resume, and she told me several people were already working on it within the administration, and they're going to see what's out there.
So you think that an interview or even possibly a job could come out of this?
It could, you know, and I know they're looking within the government, and they have connections outside of the government. So one of the other amazing things that happened to me late last night was the Presidential Personnel Office called me and would like me to come in on Monday just for an informational interview, so they can get to know who I am other than your wonderful news clips and things people are saying, but they wanted to get to know me and more than what my resume might say.
You know, you have a really great story, I should say. You and I talked for a long time yesterday afternoon. As you mentioned in the town hall, you're 43. This is your first baby. It's a high-risk pregnancy. You and your husband are building a home. You're trying to get your stepdaughter into a better school system. Something good is going to come out of this for you. A lot of people at home, though, may watch and say, what's the takeaway for me? How can I make my situation better? Do you have any advice for them?
Well, you know, when this all happened to me, I never once thought there was no light at the end of the tunnel. I definitely thought there was going to be something on the other end. It's hard to go into an interview and obviously look like you're not ready for that job. You know, when there's an opening, they want you now. But I always just kept the faith that something was going to happen, that there was going to be an opportunity. I completely lucked out that the opportunity was so huge for me. But I guess, you know, I speak for a lot of Americans that are out of work and frustrated, and I just have to say, you know, keep the faith and know that there's something at the end of the tunnel. You know, again, this is a great opportunity for me. I love everything that's happening to me. I am blessed, I'm grateful, and I'm humbled by this. But, you know, I don't have anything yet, and I think something great will happen just because I think something great will happen whether I met President Obama or not. I have a good resume, and I'm hoping that my faith and my aspirations work out.
Well, and you have a great attitude, and you also have a great event coming up later this summer. So we wish you the best of luck, not only with the job search, but with your growing family. Keep us posted on both, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, CBS.
Yeah, it's been such a pleasure, Karen. Thanks.